So I want to do something to celebrate the past 10 years of creating content for agency owners. And my team came up with a really cool idea about me watching myself 10 years ago, and seeing if the advice is still valid and how ridiculous I look. So I hope you enjoy.
Hi, I'm Jason, founder of Jason Swenk. What is jasonswenk.com? Well, for absolutely nothing, I will send you tips for your digital agency. Yes, absolutely nothing, for free. Are the tips any good? No, they're fucking awesome. You may think this is a parody off a shaving viral video. Well, let me tell you something. You'd be right. I'm a lot like you. In 1999, I started in the internet boom. I love marketing and I love technology. So I started a digital agency. Got a client, hired an employee. Got bigger clients, hired more employees. Eventually, grew it to a multi-million-dollar business, sold it, boom. The reason you're here is I want to teach you guys the ins and outs of a digital agency. All right, stop watching me. Getting a little creepy. Go check out the site. Stop watching me.
Well, that is still relevant. I actually remember doing that, and I look like an Oompa Loompa or a hostage. I should have held up a newspaper with the date on it, with that ugly green screen. But yeah, that was a good video. I think that was the first video that we ever did. All right, let's go on to the next one, titled "There is No Bad Client."
I'm going to start off telling you something that you're going to disagree with in the beginning. And that is there's no such thing as a bad agency client. Yes, it's true. You're probably thinking, I am crazy. And who is this guy telling me that there is no such thing as a bad agency client? You need to check out my client roster. That's what you're thinking. I get it. I understand your struggles. And I'm not going to deny that. I owned an agency for 12 years until I sold it. And I used to think the same way that you did. Okay, there's only two reasons that can happen that will make you think you have a bad agency client. So do you want to hear them?
I bet I could tell you there's a bad process or a bad prospect. Let's see if I'm right.
So you can eliminate this? Of course you do. Number one, they were a bad prospect and did not meet your agency criteria. So let me ask you a question. Do you take on every client and prospect? Do you have a set criteria for each and you don't bend the rules when you're getting low on cash flow? Here are a few things that I used to do when I was talking to a prospect. And so here they are. Can the prospect clearly articulate what they want? Because if you're talking to a prospect and they cannot determine what they want, walk away. Whatever you do, they're always going to be changing their mind and wanting more. Also, do they have a budget that you can make a profit on? How many times are you taking on new business that you normally would walk away because you need the money? And can your firm really deliver on the results? If you can't, don't do it. You'll be mad, your team will be mad, and the client will be mad, and mad clients will tell everybody. And is the timing realistic? If the prospect has an unrealistic expectation of when you will deliver the work, walk away. I can't tell you how many times this burned me. Don't do it. The second thing you do that creates a bad agency client is your process stinks. Yes, I said it. Your delivery process is broken and has gaping holes in it. Here are a couple ways to unstink your agency process. Most agencies start out with a crappy proposal and documentation. The proposal is very vague, which leads to clients asking for way more than they assumed. The key word is assumed. So document everything. It all starts with having a detailed proposal with all of the deliverables clearly laid out and the project timeline for each. Many times when a client would ask me for something way off the grid, I could go back to the detailed proposal that they signed and keep them happy and avoid scope creep. Follow your processes and your checklist. Have you ever seen all the buttons and switches an airline pilot has to go through to fly a plane? What's the first thing that they do when they take off? They go through a series of checklists and processes. It doesn't matter if they've logged thousands of hours or not. They go through the same process each time, which creates a routine, and this is the same process you need to do within your business. So let me ask you a question. What's your biggest takeaway from this video? Was it your process stinks?
So I love this video and it still resonates today. When I talk with agency owners that they're hit a certain plateau, I ask them, I say, do you have on bad clients? And do you have unprofitable clients? And why did you take them on? And it all really starts with kind of the pipeline, and they're taking on whatever they can actually get. So it goes back to the thing about you're taking on the wrong prospect. And I always tell people, when you're wanting to scale your agency, there's a video that we'll link up here talking about if you're wanting to scale by 30%, you really need to assume the churn rate in there. And then 70% of that new percentage should actually come from another client. So check out that video. That'll give you a lot of detail on that. Don't remember. I guess I'm so distracted by the soul patch. Is that a soul patch? I guess I used to call that 10 years ago my mojo. And I had no gray hair. But yes, and then with your prospect or your process, it's all about your checklist and making sure you have a process that becomes routine, that you keep checking to make sure that you're delivering results. Because if you're losing clients over and over again, it's because you have something's broken in your process, or maybe you're taking on the wrong prospect. And that's one of the best ways, and really good advice. I love the title too.
Get up!